Welcome back for another book talk. Today we are talking about The Halloween Moon. Now, did I finish this on time? Nope, it's the week after Halloween, but that's okay. So, this is a kid's book, and obviously, when it comes to reading a kid's book as an adult, it's usually going to hit differently. You're not the intended audience. This book is super cheesy, and you might not enjoy that. And the message of the book is in your face, and some of the lines are super cheesy, but there is a charm to that. And again, remember that the books you would love as a kid, early teen, those are going to be different and hit different as an adult. And reading books aimed at kids, the things that make us cringe as adults, kids aren't going to usually cringe at. And it's just a different type of book. The messages are going to be written a little differently, but keeping that in mind, this is a pretty good book. So the premise of this one is that our main character loves Halloween. And as a kid, I was that person. I loved Halloween. That was my identity. Still, many people, that's the thing they know me for, is that I am the Halloween person. So for me, the main character, Esther, she was so much fun because I get it. I remember feeling that way. And I feel like some of the things were a little not quite realistic, the way things happened with her parents, and the reasons behind it felt really random, but whatever. So not all of us who absolutely loved Halloween will have a situation like that. I don't know, for me, as I was reading it, it reminded me of the last year that I went trick-or-treating, and it's a weird nostalgia reading this book of remembering that last childhood Halloween where it was before the year that it stopped for you. And everyone has a different point. Sometimes you can drag it out for many years. Others, it ends abruptly. And this book was that inner fight of still wanting to have Halloween, and her coming to the realization of growing up. It was a fun little book. It's not trying to do a whole lot, and I think that's what makes this type of book work. It's not trying to be anything outside of what it is. Now, for this book, it did drag quite a bit. I really, despite loving Halloween and kind of connecting to the character on that front, it was very bland. I wasn't really intrigued by it. It didn't really capture my interest. I don't know if it would be different if I was younger. That's a real possibility. But it's just the plot was kind of really slow. And then it, similar to some of the other kids books, it took a wild turn. And honestly, it really started to feel like Coraline. Now, I haven't read the book. I've only seen the movie of Coraline, but it really started to become that kind of creepily. And I don't know if he was inspired by it or just happened to have a very similar idea, but it was giving Other Mother vibes. And that part was kind of it was interesting, but not enough. I only finished reading it because I've been feeling sick all day, so it was I'll just finish it finally. But the plot really wasn't it for me. The pacing was weird, but again, I think some of that has to come from the intended audience. Adults, we usually pace our books different than a kid's book. And the attention spans are different too for kids now versus my generation and older. We didn't grow up on iPads and tablets. We grew up with rocks. we didn't have the instant gratification and the need for so much. And it's just different. It's just different. And so I think the pacing might work well for the intended audience, which again is not me. But it was okay. It was pretty good. I don't know that I would ever read it again, but at the same time, when I have kids, would this be a book I would give them 1 year? Probably. What age? I don't know. I feel like it's right around that point of maybe 10 or 11 maybe 12, 13, because that's how old the character is, but like somewhere around there, like maybe like 5th or 6th grade, when they're starting to like prep and get ready for like middle school and high school, all of that time, I feel like that's when this book would be appropriate, and I would totally give it to kids to read. I just don't know that I would personally ever reread it, but again, it's a really good book. Now, to me, this isn't much of a spoiler, but just an FYI, this is the very last page of the book, and this is the part that, like, it was sitting at, like, a 2 or a 3 star for me up until this page, and then it was like, alright, you earned some points for this one, because I think it summarizes what this book was trying to, like, make as, like, a concept that people go through, and not everyone, but those of us who loved Halloween, like, that specific time he tried to make into a book. And so I'm going to read the last little bit of it. And again, if you don't want spoilers, like, I don't feel like it's spoilers, but just an FYI. So it's on the last page, and it says, Esther Gold liked Halloween. She didn't love it anymore. She just liked it a lot. Maybe you love Halloween. Maybe you dress up every year and put a lot of time and care into your costume. Maybe you watch scary movies and then can't sleep, but also can't resist watching more. Maybe candy corn tastes better to you than other candy, not because it tastes better, it doesn't, but because it tastes like a moment in time, like a season. And, like, that is so true. It's like, I read that and I just had to sit and stare at a wall for a while because, I was that way too. I don't love Halloween the way I used to, but I still like it. It's not the same. And, like, yes, candy corn does taste better because of the nostalgia related to it. And, like, I don't know, that part of the book it really got to me. And then as I was getting ready to film this part and was, like, flipping through the last bit of the book here, in the acknowledgements, I just wanted to mention this. It's really sad. So this book, let's see. Let's flip to the page. I know I could hit stop recording on this, but, where's the fun in that? Okay, so this came out in 2021, and at the very last paragraph of the entire thing, it says, and of course, a giant thank you to Jody Reamer, without whom none of this would be possible. Someday you and I will ride Splash Mountain, I promise. But Splash Mountain's gone! Like, there is one left in the entire world, and I think it's Tokyo Disney? It's somewhere over there. Like, one of the, like, across the globe ones still has it. But here in, like, the US, where, like, obviously this is based, that doesn't exist anymore. They took it out in both parks. So, and I don't know if, like, Disney Europe ever had it, or Disneyland Paris or whatever, if they ever had it. But, yeah, I read that, and I was like, oh, no, no, you can't actually go to Splash. I hope you did it beforehand, because it's gone. I mean, the ride's getting rethemed, and, like, technically it's kind of still there, but it's not the same. So, anyways, that was just a random little thing that was like, oh, no, at the very end. But anyways, I would love to know your thoughts on the Halloween Moon. Did you love it? Did you not? What age, if you've read this, would you recommend it to? Because genuinely, it is one that I would love to, like, oh, there goes my dog. Hold on. Sorry, decided to leave it in, but yeah, my dog is keeping us safe from delivery people up the street every day. So anyways, I would love to know what age, if you've read this book, that you would recommend it to. Like, as parents, like, what age would you give your child this book? Because it's one that I would buy as, like, a future gift for potential kids. But, like, I'm struggling. Like, what age would you give this? Like, I don't know when. Because, like, you don't want to break the, like, magic of Halloween, but at the same time, like, to prepare them for it? I don't know. I would love to know your thoughts. And, of course, make sure to check out my blog below for my books. And until next time, I will end this before she goes off, as the delivery truck gets closer. Anyways, till next time, thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all soon.